Milan crushes Inter's hopes of winning treble in Coppa semi-final. With the exception of games against city rivals Inter Milan, AC Milan hasn't accomplished anything this season. Luka Jovic scored 2 goals in Milan's 3-0 derby victory on Wednesday, ruining Inter's hopes of winning a triple and sending them to the Coppa Italia final. Milan had already defeated the Nerazzurri in the January Italian Super Cup final, and this was their 3rd victory over Inter this season. Even though the 7-time European champions are now in 9th place in Serie A and are unlikely to qualify for the continental tournament the following season, coach Sergio Conceição may have a chance to retain his position if Milan can win another trophy. After a 1-1 first leg, Milan advanced on a 4-1 aggregate. It was a very significant game for us. We are not very good in Serie A, as you are aware. Today, we had to demonstrate the quality. The character had to be shown, Jovic stated, and we showed it, and we are going to Rome. We have a lot of belief, replied Reinders. Despite the league's challenges, we are aware that this is the quickest route to Europe, and we can win this trophy if we play the way we did today. Serie A leaders Inter lost 1-0 at Bologna on Sunday, their 2nd straight defeat. Barcelona will face Inter in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Bournemouth rallies to defeat Arsenal for the first time ever. For the first time in their history, Bournemouth overcame a deficit to defeat Arsenal on the road. Evanilson's tenacious goal gave the Cherries a 2-1 Premier League victory on Saturday. In the 34th minute, Declan Rice gave the Gunners the lead. Bukayo Saka curled the ball just wide as the home team had an opportunity to increase their lead. But Dean Huijsen gave Bournemouth a well-earned equalizer in the 67th minute by heading replacement Antoine Semenyo's long throw into the bottom corner. After a protracted VAR review found no solid proof he handled the ball, Evanilson completed the reversal 8 minutes later by bundling home from a corner. Arsenal captain Odegaard said, Sky Sports, "We felt like we controlled pretty much everything after we got the goal. But they score, and we lose control of the game. The second half is not acceptable." Arsenal has lost 21 points from winning situations this season and was unable to generate another genuine opportunity. With their victory, Bournemouth has defeated Arsenal twice for the first time and is now in 8th place, which may be sufficient for them to play in Europe the next season. Arsenal easily defeated the 10-man Ipswich Town. The Gunners got out to a fast start, and their first opportunity came only 6 minutes in when Leandro Trossard's effort from the middle of the box was stopped after some excellent interplay between Saka and Odegaard. The Tractor Boys did cause Arsenal some trouble, but shortly before the 15-minute mark, a quick break concluded with the identical link-up for the visitors' first chance to complete the play, demonstrating their dominance. Trossard, who was falling under pressure, beat Alex Palmer in the Ipswich goal after Odegaard's poor touch found its way to him. After a great move, Arsenal broke through once more as they continued to dominate the game and trouble the home team's defense. After the half, Arteta's team faced some occasional pressure from the hosts, but they mostly controlled the match. With 20 minutes remaining, they were able to increase their lead when Rice played a beautiful pass into Trossard, who turned and attempted to put it into the far corner after a brief corner sequence. With a commanding 4-0 victory at Portman Road in the final minutes, Arsenal moved 7 points clear of third-place Newcastle. As their Champions League push continues, Aston Villa defeated Newcastle. Aston Villa maintained their position in the contention for Champions League qualification on Saturday by defeating top-5 rival Newcastle United 4-1 at Villa Park. Villa made a strong comeback to Premier League play 5 days after losing to Paris Saint-Germain in a thrilling match that eliminated them from Europe's top club competition. Ollie Watkins opened the scoring in the first minute. Fabian Schär gave third-place Newcastle a header just before half-time. But Villa dominated after the interval, with Ian Maatsen regaining the advantage before a Dan Burn own goal and a brilliant effort from replacement. Amadou Onana completed the victory. Newcastle leads fourth-place Manchester City by 59 points in what is becoming a very close race to earn a spot in the Champions League next season. All 5 of the Premier League's top 5 teams will advance. Watkins, who was a substitute in both legs of Aston Villa's match against PSG, told Sky Sports. On Tuesday, Unai Emery's Villa will play Manchester City. A win would move them into the top 4. Our goal is to earn a spot in the Champions League. Although we had a setback today, we have a whole week to bounce back and assess our mistakes, defender Kieran Trippier stated. Atalanta's victory over Roma secures their Champions League spot. Gian Piero Gasparini's team qualified for the Champions League on Monday as Atalanta defeated AS Roma 2-1 at home thanks to a goal from substitute Ibrahim Sulemana in the second half. After Roma midfielder Brian Cristante cancelled out an early goal by Ademola Lookman, Sulemana scored a low strike from just beyond the box in the 76th minute to give Atalanta the 3 points. Now it's a beautiful evening. We have 2 weeks to enjoy this season, remarked Gasparini. We missed direct qualification by 1 point in the Champions League, finishing 9th out of 36 clubs. It was intimidating for us. We'll have time and opportunity to consider the other options. After 9 minutes, Lookman put Atalanta ahead with a stroke past Roma custodian Miles Villar, giving them a strong start. The striker controlled the ball to score inside the right post after Charles de Ketelaere dribbled past the Roma defense and set up the Nigerian with a superb low cross inside the box. It was Atalanta's 100th goal in all competitions this season. In the 76th minute, Sulemana gave Atalanta the lead again with a low shot from just beyond the area. The goal stood after a VAR review for possible offside. Before playing their final match against lowly Parma, Atalanta will travel to Genoa on Sunday. This season's last meeting between Atleti and Barcelona returns to action on Wednesday night when they travel to the Spanish capital for the second leg of their Copa del Rey semi-final matchup against Atletico Madrid at the Estadio Metropolitano. Barcelona defeated Girona handily over the weekend to keep their position atop the La Liga table. In what has been an amazing season series, these two will face off for the 4th and final time. Their previous 3 encounters are among the top games in Spanish football this year. The first leg of the semi-finals ended in an exciting 4-4 draw 5 weeks ago, leaving the tie open going into this one. There has been lots of entertainment, excellent football from both teams, twists and turns, and incredible comebacks. In their most recent encounter, which was yet another crazy match in La Liga, Barca was outplayed for 70 minutes, but rallied from a 2-goal deficit to win 4-2 with 2 goals in stoppage time, shocking the Metropolitano crowd, and all but ending Atleti's hopes of winning the championship. So far, Hansi Flick has been fantastic in pivotal games, making the right calls with his replacements and inspiring his squad to defeat the greatest opponents throughout the season. We will have the season's 4th El Clasico, with a cup trophy up for grabs, scheduled for the end of the month in Seville, if he can pull it off one more time. Despite Kylian Mbappé hat-trick hosts win thriller in a thrilling Clásico on Sunday, Barcelona recovered a 2-goal deficit to win 4-3 at home against rivals Real Madrid, thanks to 2 goals from Rafinha. This victory moved Barcelona 1 step closer to winning La Liga. With 3 games left, Barcelona's lead at the top of the standings now stands at 7 points over Real Madrid in second place.
This season, Barca defeated Madrid in every competition for the fourth time in a row. After the game, Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti stated, "You have to attack and defend well in a game of this level. We had a strong onslaught, but throughout those 30 minutes we committed some glaring errors. They are expensive to us." Overall, Barca appeared to be a far more formidable and well-coordinated squad. Ancelotti went on, "We have to defend better. It's pretty clear that we didn't defend well. The low block isn't the point. They punished us after we gave them some opportunity. Obviously, winning today was crucial. I think it's already forgotten, but it's great to have this game after the Champions League," Yamal told Movistar Plus. "Going through hardships is what strengthens you and teaches you how to fix your faults. Apart from the goals, they didn't produce any clear-cut opportunities. To go closer to the league crown today's victory was crucial. We are overjoyed."
Bayern Munich wins the Bundesliga. Harry Kane trophy drought comes to end. Harry Kane's lengthy search for the first major trophy of his adult career came to an end on Sunday as Bayern Munich won their 33rd Bundesliga title. The striker, who watched from the stands as he served a ban for receiving his 5th yellow card of the season the week before, could have collected his first winner's medal on Saturday had Bayern defeated RB Leipzig without him. When second-place Bayer Leverkusen drew 2-2 against Freiburg on Sunday, it was finally established that Bayern had won the title. With 2 games left, they could no longer mathematically surpass Bayern's 76-point total. Kane's streak of 694 club and national outings without a single title to show for his efforts comes to an end with Leverkusen's draw. Shortly after Bayern's title victory was declared, Kane shared a picture of himself on Instagram stories with a trophy emoji on a black background. He then shared another video of himself celebrating and singing "We Are the Champions" before being soaked in champagne. Then he posted a video of himself performing "We Are the Champions," a Queen hit from 1977. There is still so much to look forward to in this season, which isn't even ended yet. Together, let's end strong. Bologna defeats Pulisic Milan to win the Coppa Italia title. Bologna secured their first major championship in 51 years on Wednesday, defeating AC Milan 1-0 after a fierce battle thanks to a goal from Dan Ndoye in the second half. An unmarked Ndoye calmly tapped the ball home from close range after Milan defender Theo Hernandez's well-timed tackle on Riccardo Orsolini gave Bologna the lead 8 minutes after the restart. Bologna's triumph was their first major trophy since they took home the same trophy in 1974. Italiano said they were 3 hefty disappointments to Mediaset. "I didn't believe I could return right away and avenge myself, but I'm glad we were successful. I add an important trophy to my mantelpiece, and I truly dedicate it to the guys, who were extraordinary." Soon after the last whistle, his players had thrown Italiano into the air in joy. Like some of the thousands of Bologna supporters in the stands, many of them were crying with happiness. "Now let me go and celebrate, because this is something really incredible." Italiano grinned as he concluded his TV interview. At Brentford, Manchester United fails to make a historic comeback. In an exciting Premier League match on Sunday, Brentford defeated a youthful and drastically altered Manchester United team 4-3 to give their chances of making it to the European Championship for the first time a boost. Thomas Frank's team advanced to 9th place thanks to a double from Kevin Shade. United's loss doomed them to their 16th league loss in a Premier League season, which is a club record. Under former manager Erik ten Hag, the team's previous record of 14 losses was set the previous season. "I do believe that we are moving forward. We've been playing well, and we've had a great run of games." Frank told the BBC, "We must continue doing that. Ipswich away is the next game, and it's the most crucial one. Now that the season is going well, let's see whether it can go even better." They gained some breathing distance when Shade leaped into the air to score his second header, after Brian Mbeumo sent another cross to the far post. Very pleased. That's what we desired. We want to push for Europe by winning every game in the end. Changes were made, but since it's Manchester United, we need to perform and win games as any team that wears the shirt. Today was the most important day. Even though I know there's a major game on Thursday, we had to win the game, but we failed to do so. Chelsea easily defeats Djurgården to go to the Conference League final. Favorites Chelsea, who are playing as a backup, defeated Swedish team Djurgården 1-0 in the second leg on Thursday to go to the Europa Conference League final with a 5-1 aggregate triumph. One of the team's more experienced players, 26-year-old Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, scored in the 38th minute after receiving a deft pass from Tyreek. George dribbling past two defenders and blasting in a left-footed effort. Dewsbury-Hall said to TNT, "It's incredible to be in the final. It has been a long couple of months, but one more game to go, and hopefully we can lift that trophy." Chelsea coach Enzo Maresca rested players and started a young squad, including 16-year-old attacker Reggie Walsh, because the team was 4-1 up from the first leg and in a Premier League struggle for Champions League positions at the end of the season. All I'm trying to do is mentor the younger players. 16-year-old Reggie Yates was amazing, calm, and collected. You could see how calm and composed the players were while they were playing. The academy deserves credit for that Dewsbury-Hall remark. When Chelsea plays Real Betis of Spain in the final on May 28th in Wrocław, Poland, they will have a more difficult opponent. After defeating Djurgården in the first leg, Chelsea is in the final. In the first leg of their Conference League semi-final on Thursday, Chelsea defeated Swedish team Djurgården 4-1 on a challenging artificial pitch with 2 goals from Jadon Sancho and Noni Madueke, as well as a brace from Nicholas Jackson. The fervent home crowd was momentarily silenced as Sancho took possession just outside the 6-yard box and cut inside to shoot in the 12th minute. Defender Marcus Danielson's attempt to clear the ball only assisted it into the goal. Tokmak Nguyen of the home team came near in first-half stoppage time with a rare shot on goal for Djurgården, but Madueke increased their lead before halftime with a controlled first-time finish after Enzo Fernandez had passed the ball to him. In the 59th minute, substitute Jackson scored by taking advantage of a defensive blunder. Jackson scored his second goal a few minutes later after another defensive blunder, but Isak Alamayahu Mulugeta gave the home team a glimmer of hope in the 68th minute with a header that looped up into the top corner. The final scheduled for May 28th in Wrocław, Poland. Excellent performance. We won, and that's what matters most. We are thrilled that we won the game and that the manager is pleased, so it's a step in the right direction, and we hope to make it to the final. Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez assist the Blues in their victory. Chelsea's victory over freshly crowned Premier League champions Liverpool at Stamford Bridge bolstered their hopes of qualifying for the Champions League next season. Liverpool's performance lacked some of their customary intensity until it was too late because head coach Arne Slot made 6 changes from the team that defeated Tottenham Hotspur to win the title at Anfield. Chelsea then secured a vital victory that puts Enzo Maresca's team level on points with 4th-place Newcastle United, who they now only trail in the table on goals scored, heading into their match at St. James's Park next Sunday. After giving Liverpool the traditional Champions Guard of Honor prior to kickoff, after just 3 minutes, the Argentines' arrival in the box at the ideal moment to direct Pedro Neto's cross put Chelsea ahead. After 56 minutes, Chelsea increased their lead when Virgil van Dijk blasted an attempted clearance against Jarell Quansah and into his own net after Cole Palmer's run caused chaos in the Liverpool area. After Quansah fouled Moises Caicedo, Palmer scored from the penalty spot seconds from the end to seal Chelsea's victory and snap an 18-game goalless streak. Cody Gakpo winning the Premier League is our goal. We must make it a reality. The Premier League title, which the Dutchman calls an amazing achievement, is now just 1 point away for the Reds. Knowing that a win or draw would secure the club's 20th title victory, Arne Slot's team hosts Tottenham Hotspur at Anfield. Gakpo and his teammates know they have one more obstacle to overcome after a season of perseverance and hard work, and they would love to achieve it in front of their own supporters. During a pre-game interview at the AXA training center, the number 18 told LiverpoolFC.com, "This is the moment we all worked so hard for the whole year. It goes without saying that we lost the Carabao Cup final, were eliminated from the FA Cup, and were also eliminated from the Champions League. We might not have been as good as we wanted to be at those times. However, it would be a fantastic season for all of us, and something we could truly build on going forward if we could win it this weekend. Every football player hopes to win the Premier League at some point in their lives. That would be a truly remarkable accomplishment. The manager approaches every game in that manner," he stated. "That's how we communicate and coexist as a team. It's not done until it's over." Barcelona wins the Copa del Rey after defeating Real Madrid in an ET thriller. In a thrilling Copa del Rey final held in a boisterous setting at Seville's La Cartuja Stadium on Saturday, Barcelona defeated close rivals Real Madrid 3-2 thanks to a goal from Jules Koundé in the closing minutes of extra time. The French defender's incredible shot gave Barca a record-extending 30-second Spanish Cup victory. Koundé scored the game-winning goal that gave Barca the title and the start of a possible treble, just as it appeared that the match would be decided by a penalty shootout. Barcelona will keep up this momentum when they play Inter Milan in the opening leg of their Champions League quarter-final on Wednesday. Giving the supporters something to be happy about was a fantastic idea. Ferran Torres, the player of the match, told TVE, "Let's enjoy it, but don't overdo it, because the Champions League semi-finals are coming up in a few days." Happy and worn out, it was definitely the most physically taxing game I've ever played. However, we are a fantastic team that never gives up. That way, especially when Real Madrid is in front of us, it tastes better. Crystal Palace advances to FA Cup final thanks to Ismaila Sarr and Eberechi Eze. In a thrilling match at Wembley on Saturday, Crystal Palace defeated Aston Villa 3-0, soaring into the FA Cup final for just the third time thanks to two outstanding goals from Ismaila Sarr and a stunning goal from Eberechi Eze. With the Eagles just one victory away from taking home a major trophy for the first time in the 119-year history of the South London club, Palace's supporters turned up the noise from the very first minute and were rewarded in an exciting way. Eze, a forward for England, gave Palace the lead in the 31st minute. Sarr's spectacular finish came in stoppage time, just as the Palace party was already in full gear. A unique day. Before Sarr scored his second goal, Eze, who was chosen man of the match, stated, "We want to go all the way, and we believe we can do it. Anything is possible if we can perform like we did today in the final. We have consistently displayed performances like this, and we are not anxious or afraid of facing anyone. We can defeat anybody if we play like we do today," Henderson remarked. Villa, who were missing Marcus Rashford due to injury, can't be too upset since a season that held so much promise might end in heartbreaking disappointment. Everton's 3-1 away victory denies Fulham a spot in Europe. Fulham's chances of playing in Europe next season are rapidly diminishing after they lost 3-1 to Everton at Craven Cottage on Saturday, their fourth Premier League loss in 5 games. Everton rallied from behind to win. Fulham remains in 11th place before Vitaly Mykolenko's deflected drive from the edge of the box tied the game on the stroke of halftime. Raúl Jiménez gave Fulham a well-earned lead with a strong header in the first half. The game was swung in Everton's favor, and their hosts' hopes of qualifying for Europe
were severely damaged by 2 goals in 3 minutes from Michael Keane and Beto, who took advantage of a mistake by goalkeeper Bernd Leno. Emil Smith-Rowe crossed from the left, and Jimenez climbed over Mikolenko to head past goalkeeper Jordan Pickford to give the home team their first goal in 8 games. After 70 minutes, Keane headed home Dwight McNeil's deep corner at the back post to give the visitors the lead. 3 minutes later, Everton scored a third goal thanks to Leno's howler. Then in the last seconds, Fulham's penalty challenge for a Mikolenko handball was dismissed. Despite being summoned to the pitch-side screen referee, Darren England maintained his first ruling. How to watch second leg of Champions League semi-final between PSG and Arsenal. After losing to Liverpool for the Premier League Championship, Arsenal's season is on the line as they travel to Paris for the second leg of their UEFA Champions League semi-final matchup against PSG. Ousmane Dembele's early goal in the 1-0 victory last week gave Paris Saint-Germain a 1-goal lead going into the second leg. Although they welcome Thomas Partey back from suspension, Arsenal still has a lot of work ahead of them as Jurrien Timber might potentially be added to their long list of injuries. Everything you need to know before the game is right here. How to watch. The game will be accessible on Sony LIV in India, Paramount Plus in the US, Stan Sport in Australia, and TNT Sports and Discovery Plus in the UK. Additionally, you can watch live updates on ESPN. Important information. Date, May 7th, Wednesday, 8 p.m. UK, 12:30 a.m. IST, 5 a.m. AST, 3 p.m. ET. Location: Paris's Parc des Princes. Felix Zweier is the referee. The final MLS team without a loss is Inter Miami. Record attendance for away games is nothing new for Inter Miami CF, and last Saturday, 60,614 fans flocked to Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland to watch the Heron defeat Columbus Crew SC 1-0. Despite the large crowd, Columbus shut down Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets, Luis Suarez, and Jordi Alba, and Miami's superstars failed to produce a memorable game. Rather, the Herons won all 3 points thanks to a finish by Benjamin Cremaschi and a cross by Marcelo Weigand. With the victory, Miami ties Columbus for the top seed in the Eastern Conference with 18 points from 8 games. Although Miami's victory is encouraging, Saturday's game under head coach Javier Mascherano raised many concerns among supporters ahead of Matchday 10 against FC Dallas, and, more crucially, Thursday's CONCACAF Champions Cup semi-final matchup against Vancouver Whitecaps. FC Cremaschi's goal was a highlight of the depth the team has developed in their quest to become the greatest in North America, even though Inter Miami did not get much from their superstars that day. However, they won't have much time to settle things before Thursday, and giving up so many opportunities against Brian White and the Vancouver Whitecaps could end up costing them.